And we are live! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Canadian Guy here, and we are back after vacation and after a much needed refresher. We are back. How's it going, everybody? It feels very good to be back. I am very happy to finally be back, to finally say what's up, guys, and we are live. It feels great. Now, there were some issues where we had to stay an additional 2 days, so that's probably why things are a little bit out of sorts for me, at least. Maybe not so much for you guys, but for me, things are a little out of sorts. Well, hello! Oh, are we a little angry right now? Oh,
say hi, everybody.
A little grumpy. It's been,
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.
Make you go bye-bye. Oh, so worst song ever.
Hi.
Good night, Daddy. Night, night.
Good night. Night, night.
Night, night.
Night, night. Bye-bye. And hello, Denver. All right, you can... Oh, good night, buddy. I'm playing Crash Bandicoot. What do you think I'm doing? Yeah, you haven't seen this one. Or if you have. No, you've seen it. All right.
Say good night.
Good night. Okay. So. Bye. So, without further ado, let's hop into how was your vacation? It was good. It was good. It was quiet. It was very quiet. And let's talk about something right off the hop, because I already know it's going to be the number one thing that everyone's going to be asking about. What are my thoughts about the Crash Bandicoot news that we had received, where we found out that according to, I believe it's What's on Netflix or What's Up Netflix, I can't exactly quote the exact people that broke the news. However, that there was a news report of there being officially Crash Bandicoot, a animation that is currently in development. And it went viral across social media, as viral as that the news can be. And everyone in the Crash fan base was super happy. There has been an update, if you guys are unaware, that it was originally slated to be in developed by Wild Brain, which was the studio behind Sonic Prime, to the amazement of... Steal my phone again? Fine. Now, I have a lot of thoughts. And I'm going to still be making a video talking about those thoughts, but I can share some of them with you. But again, Wild Brain is no longer the aforementioned studio that is behind the development of this show. Which, of course, you know, hold on, let me just make sure I got my Streamlabs dashboard up, which we do now. Okay, we got it good. Okay, don't want to miss any alerts. So, how's the dog doing? He had a massive anxiety on the whole trip until we stopped at the cottage. And then when we were at the cottage, whenever I left the room, he'd have full-blown anxiety. The drive wasn't the best either for the dog. However, as soon as we got back home, he settled right in as if like nothing happened, and he's all calm right down. So the team Wild Brain is no longer the team that is been confirmed to be working on the project. Now, this of course has also cast some doubts towards the report, right? So some are asking, you know, how legitimate is the report? And the thing is that there have been other people coming out and talking about this. There was even one, I guess, Movie Scoop insider or something that like commented in a way that was like kind of teasing towards like, oh yeah, I've heard this too. It was like someone that, you know, teased a pair of like big eyes looking at everybody, you know, like whenever someone says something and it's like, oh, I heard it too, they do the big eyes as a tease. That's apparently another insider that spoke about this. Then there was yet another insider who reported that they were trying to put something into development back in the day, and it's been a while, which we can confirm because, of course, we had the canceled Amazon show that they were in the very early makings of. Right? Hold on, just give me a second. Just concentrating here. I'm gotta get rid of the platformer rust. I haven't been playing. I didn't play too many platformers while I was up north. I was basically playing Pokemon the whole time. And Dragon Ball Z with the kiddos. There we go. All right. So now the question is, there's a bunch of speculation and talking about it. It's okay, who's developing it? Who could be behind it? Who's working on it? And I've been doing a little bit of digging, and not only me, but there's been a few people who have been doing some digging, and there's a few people that people are pointing out to that could be doing it. There's so far, if it's a major studio, if it's a big major studio that's working on it, there's two. There's, like, if it's, oh no, I messed this up. Ah, crud. So, there's two. There was something posted by DreamWorks. Oh, I didn't know that went underwater. I need you to know thoughts about the new Pokemon. Okay, let me finish my initial thoughts about the Crash Bandicoot, and then I'll tell you about Pokemon. But I'm gonna be real. Yes, my batteries have been fully recharged. Thank you. The first major studio that someone pointed out is perhaps DreamWorks, which I have my doubts about, but there is evidence for it. I doubt it's DreamWorks, but it's not like it's not like there's absolutely zero evidence to suggest that. There is mild evidence to suggest that DreamWorks could be a team that's currently working on it. But as I said, it is mild, not concrete. So let me just preface that and stress that it is mild evidence, nothing concrete, because I don't want people thinking, oh my gosh, the next Crash thing is going to be developed by, you know, by DreamWorks. I almost ate it there. I don't want people, you know, saying CG said this. I'm not saying that. The other team that someone pointed out is Sony Pictures, like Sony Animation, which there is evidence to suggest that as well. Not just the fact of, you know, oh shoot, the history that Crash has with Sony, of course, but if you go back as early as like 2023, there was a post by Toys for Bob saying, hey, let's do a Crash Bandicoot like adaptation. What say you, Sony Pictures? Right? That was said by Toys for Bob themselves. And so there's evidence to tie it there as well. So there's a lot. It could be a small company that we've never heard of. It could be... Oh, shoot. I think I botched that. Yeah, because I need to... Yeah, okay, hold on. So it could be DreamWorks, it could be Sony. It could be either or. So that's where those are the two major ones. But what are choices about working out at the moment? It'd be the new Spyro game. Now, I also want to say that it's interesting that we're getting reports of this, and that evidence, which, by the way, can I say something? Hold on a second. I gotta say something. I am happy to have finally got that evidence video out of Iron Galaxy. And I was hesitant and I was nervous that a lot of people were not going to like it at all. And it turned out to be completely the opposite. I best watch this again. It turned out to be the complete opposite. It seems that it has received nothing but good praise, the research for it. Not that everyone is super happy that it could be Iron Galaxy. That is a completely different thing. Which I'm going to say this, and when I make my video about it, I'm going to say the same thing. My thoughts on Iron Galaxy making a new Crash game is that I am absolutely terrified. I am going to be real here. As somebody who is typically a positive outlook type of person, someone who wants to like things, somebody who pushes that, I am absolutely terrified of the idea of Iron Galaxy handling the next Crash game. Am I against it? No. Am I scared? Terrified? Absolutely. I am not going to sit here and say, oh boy howdy, I absolutely love all of Iron Galaxy's work. Absolutely not. I'm terrified. If I'm pausing occasionally, it's because I am doing a quick shiny hunt over. Well, not quick. It's taken me like 12 hours and still haven't gotten a shiny hunt of Charmander over here on Legend ZA. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I am absolutely terrified. It is. I don't know. The thing is that I don't want to judge a book by its cover. I don't. I really don't. However, the last mainline game that I have played, or a last developed game by Iron Galaxy, that was not like a port or anything like that. It was just a their original story and IP. It's actually a review on the channel that I've since shoot, shouldn't have done that. That I've since hey Carl, we're doing well. That I've unlisted, which when that video comes out, my thought video come out, I will relist it. Because it was a video that came out years ago on my channel. And I did a review for it. It was called Extinction. And it was a game. It was a game. It was, it was a game. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever played, but it certainly was an equivalent to a bland biscuit that has its, it has its, you know, positives. There's not a lot of them, but there are. And the bad isn't horrible. It's just there's not a lot there. And oh shoot. And that's where I'm like, great. I'm not looking forward to this. Oh yeah, Lavia, I'm still doing it. Still here. It's... Ah, come on. So basically, what they basically came up with for Extinction, the last Iron Galaxy game that they did that was like fully theirs, was like they came up with this really cool prototype replay loop, and they just said, hey, what if we just repeated this over and over again and made it the whole game? And it's like, okay, but there's not enough meat on these bones, on the bones of this. It's like, okay, yeah, this is a good, like, idea as a core base. You know, let's build more around it. And they're like, no, that is the whole game. It's like, oh, that's it. And then they just figured out a way to kind of piecemeal it together to make it last longer. And it's just, it's very much like, it's like Attack on Titan. And the game was just so... It's like, it's great for like the first 15 minutes. And then slowly you start to realize, oh no, that's the whole game. Oh no. Yeah, and that's what Iron Galaxy's last, like their own original full idea game was Extinction. And the other one was Rumbleverse, which got canceled in like I don't even think it fully went live. It was their like free-to-play game that was just kind of like, eh. So, as a support studio, I don't mind Iron Galaxy as a support studio. Did I play the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 remake? I did not. But I know that there's a lot of people that have very, 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 very strong feelings about it, that they did not like it. But a lot of people, like, it critically scored pretty decent. Like, it wasn't... It looks like it wasn't terrible. Let me get that straight. It looks like it wasn't terrible. It looks like it was serviceable. At the very least. And enough people seem to have liked it. However, I'm still very nervous about Iron Galaxy working on it without the help of anybody else. I hope at least Beanox could be involved. I hope.
This is going to be just like the old days. Except this time, everything will go according to my plan. I've made a few upgrades to my blimp.
It's kind of like, okay, how is this gonna go?
Giant deadly missiles.
And the answer is I don't know. I don't know how it will go. And I'm worried.
Punchbot Mark II, deploy. Fun fact, Punchbot Mark.
There we go.
Ow!
Iron Galaxy only lasted 5.5 months. Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay. So I am going to be making a video talking more about that. But in terms of the Crash Bandicoot Netflix series, I am so excited. If, you know, as long as everything is true and it's going well, like, man, people don't even, like, even some fans of Crash Bandicoot don't realize how...
Have it your way.
Oh, shoot. I just think that Crash receiving an animated series is nothing but a huge deal. It's huge. It's absolutely gigantic. It introduces a brand new audience, Crash Bandicoot. It also will make people that played the original Crash game come back and be like, oh yeah, I remember Crash Bandicoot when I was a kid. and then now there's an animation of it.
Did I do that?
And if it does well and it reviews well and people love it and adore it and it's written well and people start watching it,
Bandicoot, smash its head.
it does nothing but create gigantic opportunity for the series
Wonder what happens
in a
if I
way
press
that
the buttons at once.
could turn it into, that could be the path. Oh shoot, I hit. Who knows who's animating? We don't know. We don't know who's animating it, and that's the problem. We don't know. But if it's good, if it's written well, if it is funny. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to have a hot take about this. Is that the show doesn't have to be for specifically diehard Crash fans. It can't be. It can't be for specific diehard Crash Bandicoot fans, because if they make it only for diehard Crash fans, it's not going to work. You can't make it. It will obviously appeal to people who love Crash Bandicoot. It will have to appeal to them, but it can't be, oh yeah, this is nothing but you know, nothing but for the fans, right? And not for the casual audiences. It has to be the gateway. Shoot. It is the gateway for Crash Bandicoot to become that mega franchise, is making it good, a solid show that doesn't offend the OGs, but is also very good for everybody who watches it. Parents, kids, young adults, teens, like all ages. Make it all ages. Don't make it sanitized, but make it good for all ages that everybody can enjoy it from.
Blasted bandicoots. Must we
If they
keep going
make the
round
humor
and round
hysterical,
this?
if they make it funny, Phoenix Fire, yes, that's correct. Is that? Hold on a second. Let's cutscene playthrough, and I'll follow up what I was going to say.
Oh.
You would be unable to handle this simplest of tasks.
Gloat all you want. I quit.
Happy for the
Leave me
band
over
of
the top
boomers.
the island somewhere, alone.
How fortunate. You see, I no longer have needs for our alliance. I found a new partner and a new plan.
You were scheming behind my back.
Of course. The Rift Generator has capabilities beyond your eager imagination. You were content to simply rule over space and time, but I'd rather start from scratch. Erase it all. Wipe the slate clean. I'm going to reset the timeline and rebuild it to my liking. I will become a god, which means you won't exist. And neither will those feather-brained masks or those meddling marsupials.
Wiped from existence by
by the
that
pompous
pompous
peacock?
I'd like to see him try after I shove that tuning fork up his...
But not if we get to him first.
It appears we have a common enemy. Perhaps there's a way out of our endless cycle after all. Huh? Okay.
Okay. I just had a thought. I'm going to pause the game to express this thought. Okay? And many of you may not like the idea. Okay? But hear me out. And there is going to be... and I was going to make a video about this. I have a whole series of videos that I want to sit down and make talking about the Crash Bandicoot animated concept and asking certain questions like, you know, should Crash Bandicoot talk? Because there's a lot of people that say he should. That, oh no, he shouldn't talk. Well, herein lies the problem: is that if you can't have him talk, you need to have someone talk on behalf of him, and he no longer may feel like the main character anymore, and you got to have some form of communication, I think, when you're appealing to massive amounts of fans, you got to have some kind of communication. Do I think that he should talk? I don't think so, but I do think that there's got to be a way outside of Crash just mumbling and grumbling the whole time. So I was thinking about it for a second, and I had an idea. And you guys can tell me what you think. What if Crash came up with his own version of sign language in a way that is only Coco knows it fluently? However, he can make sound effects and be goofy, and some of the hand signs are very telling. Something like that, where it's kind of what if it was kind of goofy hand signals with sound effects straight out of like the Three Stooges, right? Where like Crash is like and he's cracking his nose and boing, like it's all goofy, and then Coco's like, oh, Crash says he has to go to the bathroom, and then he shake his head, and it's like the yeah, like it's complete. Whenever he's doing his thing, it's goofy sound effects, and it's anyone who's watching can get the gist of what he is saying, and Coco can understand it. And you can also do jokes that are like more not adult, but more like inside, where Crash will do something and then Aku will be like, I told you that was not me, and or whatever, right? Just something like that where so he is communicating, but he's not talking. Something like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah. Complete nonsensical science. Complete nonsense. Absolute nonsense, right? That makes, that is hysterical. And I think that if they did something like that, where it's, like I said, it's hand signs, it's BSLs, the ASL, BSL, yeah, Bandicoot sign language. It's just his own way of, it's his own way of communicating, and the only one who is like very fluent in it is Coco. She's the only one who's like, oh yeah, I know. And Aku and Coco are the only ones who are fluent in his sign language. But whenever Crash is with somebody else, they can kind of get the gist of what he's saying. And there where you can get like some bits of comedy where you think Crash is saying one thing, but he's not. He's saying another. That might be... Yeah, so it's not Wild Brain. We know it's not Wild Brain. But there's other evidence there's other evidence backing up the claim that there is some Crash project in development. Oh, there could very easily be a moment like that, Florina, where they're like, we need a, like, Coco's like, man, we need a certain thingamabob, and Crash goes, aha, and he runs over and he's rifling through a crate, and he's throwing things out that's random Wumpa fruit, and then all of a sudden you see him throw out like a precursor orb. It's just like random things until finally he's like, ha! It's what, it's like a very specific silly item. Like, why would Crash have this in the first place? Oh. Was looking at chat there instead of I should have been looking at And down. I cut that one a little close. Now, my thought is also that, hey, Crystal's yeah, just like random things that he's just throwing out. There could be like a paper mache Aku that looks like the Titans, that looks like the the Crash of the Titans. Aku be like, I told you I didn't look that fat. I think you're going to have Spyro involved in some way in the show. I think you got to have an episode or two dedicated to Spyro joining in on the crew. You have to. There's no way you can't. There has to be a dedicated episode where Spyro's involved in some way, shape, or form. There has to be. Now, in terms of the Lost and Found box and Wreck-It Ralph, kind of, yeah. Again, you know, it's hard to... It is very hard because people think when it comes to appealing to mass audiences, one of the issues with that is that one of the problems with that concept and with that issue is that appealing to mass audiences is not as easy as one might think, because if you turn around and you make Crash too generic, then it's, why would I watch this when I could watch something else? If you make Crash too niche, it's, okay, I don't understand any of this. And like something that I've said in the past and something that Phoenix Fire brought up, which is true, is the fact of the Warcraft movie. The Warcraft movie is a really good example of that. I adored the Warcraft movie. I loved the Warcraft movie. But I'm also a Warcraft fan. Right? I'm also a huge Warcraft fan. So I know all the ins and outs. Not everybody that is there to watch the movie knows what Warcraft is and the main story of it. And that movie didn't do so well for critics and reviews, but then every diehard fan that saw it was like, oh my gosh, I love that movie. That movie was so good. It was so well put together. And the reviewers tore it apart. Like, the critics absolutely ripped that game apart. And yet, then it became one of the #1 movies in China ever. So it's like, okay, so is it bad? Because of course there's a huge, WoW fan base in China. So, hey, the first notification of the stream goes to Yakub Sahid, who's been a member for 10 months. Happy Halloween to CG family and chat. Also, thanks CG for being the best and kindest person ever to be on YouTube. Oh, I appreciate that. I wouldn't say that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, shoot. I really do appreciate that. But there are also a lot of other very kind people as well, and I inspire my work off of them as well. So, but I appreciate it, Yakub. Thank you so much. Work better when he's slower than constantly hanging with talkative characters, because you'll be able to carry the plots better as the main character. But if he's silent, how is he supposed to? I don't understand. So here's the problem: you make Crash silent, and now casual audiences are sitting there wondering, like, okay, what am I watching? And again, I'm not saying that he has to have full-blown sentences. I'm not saying that either. But I do think that there has to be some form of communication, some basic form of communication that Crash can do, whether it's like one words, simple words, like if it's mostly babble, but then with like keywords that he can say, like you know, blah blah blah, ooh, shiny, stuff like that. I don't think people are gonna have too much of a problem with that. I don't think, like, if Crash turned and said ooh, shiny, I don't think people are gonna be too upset with that. But or if he spoke, he would speak in kind of like a syllabus. Like if someone said, you know, like, oh no, there's a yak, and he's like, eh? Like, you know, it's like sounding like a yak, right? But it's kind of mute, so kind of leaning into like the Titans a little bit, but not so much. I am not jealous of anybody of the team that's going to be taking the task on getting that balance right for diehard fans. And I just realized that I needed those boxes. Forgot about that. Yeah, it's just you can make out the syllables of, you know, what he's saying. Just keep doing this, man. I hated this challenge area back when I did this one in my initial playthrough as well. Kenny would be a good descriptive way. That'd be really good too. You know, Kenny, you can kind of make out what he's saying, and everyone else can hear it, but you can't. But you can get the gist of it. Come on. No, not minions. No, not minions. Maybe they would do dang it. Maybe they would do a narrator? Because I'm thinking of like the Minions movie, and they kind of had like a narrator kind of describe everything. Maybe they would have you would literally hear Aku kind of like describing like the tale of Crash Bandicoot for like the bits that he's involved in. So maybe you do a narrator. What? Why did it eat my input? It's not Wild Brain. And you know what, Zionist OG, I think that is going to be the key factor. Is this going to be a continuing story, or is it going to kind of be like an episode by episode basis with sometimes some plot-based episodes? When I mean plot-based episodes, it's like, you know, you don't, you know, you get like the first episode and like the last 3 episodes that you need to watch all together for the story to make sense. But beyond that, it's, everything's all kind of self-contained. Right? Is it, you know, I always forget how to get this one right. I still don't think I got it right, but maybe I did. No, I didn't. Dang it. Right, so is it going to be like SpongeBob, where it's like you got your, you know, occasional you know, your occasional lore based, but it's mostly all just self-contained, right? Or is it a continuous story where you have to watch each episode to figure out what happened in the previous episode, right? This spot always got me. Every time I get locked down, because at one point I had it like pretty much down lock on what to do. I always, like, every time I do, it's like, oh yeah, I got it down locked now. Then I forget. Then I forget. I think I take all of these out now. That. There we go. So yeah, in terms of the, so again, like in terms of the how the Crash, there we go. Now I got it. In terms of how the Crash series is going to go, again, it is not Wild Brain that is doing it. They came out and confirmed that it's not them. But what's interesting is that Netflix hasn't come out and said anything, so that's, of course, interesting. Did it, but it was rough. Does it matter? No. See, there was always, to me, in my brain, I had a fan animation project in my mind now for like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years now, where it was, I had a whole like pitch set up, an idea, never had the time to execute it. Maybe I'll find it one day. But the idea was it was going to be a YouTube show where it was going to be like 5-minute episodes, and it was called The Adventures of Cortex and Engine. And the idea was supposed to be something akin to like Pinky and the Brain, where, and the idea was, the core idea was that Cortex was constantly having harebrained ideas, and the games were the few ideas that actually had any substance to them. I hope I didn't botch myself here. But what we don't know is that he's been trying to execute a plan constantly and has always failed horribly. And each episode is a new plan that he came up with, and it already failing by the end of the episode. Right? That was kind of the idea. And it was Cortex and Engine, and Cortex being the narcissistic, hilarious, narcissistic, hilarious moron that is just blinded by trying to take over and beat Crash Bandicoot. And it's all these harebrained ideas that comes to world domination, whether it's eliminate Crash Bandicoot, or it's do with this or do with that, and somehow by either by his own mismanagement or Crash accidentally interfering, the plan goes awry. And it was going to star, and of course, Engine was kind of like the pseudo baby genius that absolutely loved Cortex and everything that he ever did, and would take his abuse relentlessly. And it was, the ideas were, each episode was like, the episode's names were going to be the plans that Cortex had. And it was we had an idea. There was a cast set up, like, you know, the few people that I mentioned the idea to. There was a cast set up for who would do it, and it wouldn't even be starring. It wouldn't even be starring Crash and Coco, though they would be involved in very minuscule amounts and sprinkled through. It would be more focused on Cortex and Engine, right? And the whole point is that the end of the season would be, so for example, it would start like at the end of like Crash Bandicoot 2, where he's like, crystals, of course, right? And then that's where he would be doing experiments with the crystals and doing a whole bunch of stuff, and it's not really working and it's failing, right? And then the end of the season, the series finale, would be Cortex launching his spaceship into space, finally achieving what would eventually become the start of Crash Bandicoot 2, or when I said earlier, the end of Crash Bandicoot 1, and then to Crash Bandicoot 2, that would be the end of the series. And then, of course, the start of the next series would be after the ship crashes and, you know, the time twister and all of that. And then, of course, the end of that would be the end of Warped, would be them getting to the deserted island, and then the start of the season 3 would be et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was the idea that I had and I wanted to put together. But I've just never had the funding, the time, the setup, the budget, et cetera, et cetera. It would have to be something that would have to be a huge funded project that would be really difficult to get done. Though I do think that a lot of people would appreciate it and a lot of people would think it'd be hysterical. But yeah. Now, of course, all this news drops while I'm up north, right? And there was something that was sent my way by not somebody who is in the industry, but a friend of mine who sent me something that was really interesting. Let me see if I can quickly pull it up, which there is some form of, I don't want to say Spyro news. I don't want to say Spyro news. Let me be clear. However, okay. So, So Jez Corden released a story. And here is what's interesting, okay? There is a Windows Central slated for November. So apparently there is an Xbox partner preview event slated for November. Then Xbox will be present at Game Awards, and then they'll have a developer direct in January. So there are three upcoming shows that, technically speaking, Spyro could be announced at. Next, we're exclusively revealing via trusted sources that Microsoft has an Xbox partner preview showcase slated for sometime in November, which I understand was recently finalized. The showcase will focus on third-party titles from Microsoft publishing partners of all shapes and sizes, and will feature entirely, if not actually entirely Xbox Play Anywhere titles. So my question about that is, how does Spyro... Would Spyro fall into that category? Because, let me reread it again. One more time. Xbox has a partner preview showcase slated for sometime in November, which I understand was recently finalized. This showcase will focus on third-party titles from Microsoft's publishing partners of all shapes and sizes, and will feature almost entirely, if not actually entirely, Xbox Play Anywhere titles. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask, does Spyro land in that category? Because it is a third-party partner, but it's a first-party game for Xbox. Could Spyro be there? Maybe. I don't know. But then, hold on a second. Then here's something else that is stated. Beyond that, Xbox is also slated to have some presence at the Game Awards on December 11th, 2025. Although the details on this are a bit fuzzier, I'm not sure whether Xbox will be revealing gameplay, ecosystem, or hardware reveals, but Microsoft has a large variety of first-party titles in development. Over 40. Right? And then, finally, you have the January show, which is the Developer Direct. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I don't know.
They laughed when I added blockification. Well, who's laughing now?
I don't know where Spyro would be revealed. I'm still putting my money on Game Awards, but it's not an impossibility. All right, what time is it? Oh, it's my bathroom break time. I have to go to the bathroom real quick. Sorry, guys. I gotta quickly run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Did that TFB unannounced project that just died or something? No, there is no Toys for Bob project that just died. That was the only thing that like died, air quote, was what was initially slated as Crash Bandicoot 5, but was very much in flux of like it was thought to be 5, but that was back in 2020. So I mean, it's been a long time. Toys for Bob's current project that they started development on, that I've been reporting on since it dropped, is not been canceled, according to there was no news that released at all that said that Toys for Bob's projects were canned at any point. So that I haven't heard that. Trust me, if something was said about it, that there was a Toys for Bob project that was canned, I probably would have heard of it. And trust me, Spyro fans are chomping on the bit so badly, including me, that if Toys for Bob were to announce that they were canceling on their current slated project, people would lose their mind. El Chavizi, how's it going? Thank you for welcoming me back. By the way, anyone wants to fix the donation bar? It's gone crazy again. I don't know what's going on with it. But if you want to support the channel, there is a link in the description below. And yeah, it helps out. I'll be right back. I got to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back real quick. Oh. Denver, you've been quiet this whole time, bud. And we're back. Give me 1 second here. We got a $5 donation from El Javizi. Thank you so much, El Javizi, for the $5 Streamlabs donation. Bonking the donation bar to see if that fixes it. Bonk. Yeah, that fixed it. Ah! Right when I get back. No way. Elena donated $50. $50 through Super Chat. That is incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Cannon Blast from Elena. A definitive Cannon Blast from Elena. Thank you so much. $5 from Grandma. She's watching. Please say hi, everyone. Hi. Christmas / birthday money for the whole family, Denver included. Would like a fun, quick, and easy Halloween craft to make with your kids? If we got time, sure. Why not? Send it over. I'm not sure if we have time. Which, speaking of, I will not be streaming tomorrow for a few reasons. One, if you don't know, my cottage trip, it's 2 days of travel with 4 kids and a dog. So it's 6 hours one day, stop at the hotel, and then 6 hours the next day. And I got in yesterday at about 4 o'clock, and here I am today streaming. I'm still tired, right? So I'm streaming today, but not tomorrow. But also, tomorrow is Halloween, and I'm going to be spending that time with my kiddos, my family, hanging out, chilling, doing the Halloween stuff. And so I'm going to take tomorrow off, but I will see if I can try to implement an extra stream in November, which I think we're going to be getting a few extra streams in November because of like some of the showcases. So what are the kids going to be for Halloween? So this year, because we kind of came back super late, we miscalculated. Typically we do 3D printing with the kiddos. This year we couldn't do it. We didn't have enough time, but we went out today, and David is a minion. But it's one of those inflatable ones where it's all like remember the classic sumos, but it's a minion. He wanted it. He loved it. Hope is going as a fairy unicorn, and it looks like a rainbow barfed all over her and then got spackled on with sparkles, and it's perfect because it absolutely matches her personality. And Jonathan is going as a firefighter, and my wife and I came up with a funny idea. So I gotta have this all shaved by Sunday, right? So I'm looking scruffy. I'm looking like, I'm like, all right, I'm of course keeping the stash, but I gotta trim the stash, make sure it's nice and even. I gotta get rid of all the grime and grizz. But we thought we'd take an opportunity. My wife was like, hey, you kind of look like a lumberjack. And I was like, okay. So we came up with a funny idea where I'm going to dress up as like your typical, so I'm going to throw the plaid on, black shirt, my Timbos, my blue jeans, and I'm going to have a toque on, and I'm going to have a plastic axe as a prop. But also my wife is going to also go as a lumber Jill. She's going to have a jean skirt. She's going to have the plaid. She's going to have a toque on as well. She's going to have an axe, but then she's going to go and get a funny little mustache that she's going to put on herself. And she's going to do the double braids, and she's going to put on her big Timbo boots too. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to dress up Daniel as a little tree. And I'm going to see if I can print some funny tags that are going to say Jack, and her name's going to be Jill. So it's like a lumberjack, a lumber Jill, and our child, which is a little sprout, a little tree. So that's the idea that we're going to try. We're going to try to execute for like day of. So we thought it was funny. They're kind of like last minute. They are like kind of last minute costume ideas on our end, because it's basically, stereotypical Canadian attire plus axe. So that's the idea that we're doing. Oh, sorry, Denver. You okay, bud? I'm sorry. A bottle fell off my desk and hit Denver in the head, and he's just like, "Oh, offended." Have I ever gone for the TFB relics? I think I've gotten a few of them, but I never went for them. I got the plats, and I was like, that's enough for me. I got the platinum trophy, got it done, said Avita no more. Hi, Toya's World. How's it going? Welcome back. Go. All right, so I want to quickly talk about something that one of my moderators actually asked me about. So I'm gonna talk about it for a moment now. Let's talk about Pokemon. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I'm a huge Pokemon nerd. It will always be something in my heart. I can't not love Pokemon. So I've always been a big Pokemon nerd. Always have been, and I think always will. So we had the release of Pokemon Legends ZA. And it has been met with polarizing thoughts and opinions that I think some are valid and some are overblown and silly. Now here's the nice part. When I was up north, we barely have internet when we're up there. I mean, barely, right? The only way that I can get reception is, which is actually kind of funny, our neighbors installed a reception booster for our specific kind of, like, carrier, and it only hit my parents' room. So if I wanted to, like, if I needed to take a phone call, or there was an email that I desperately had to get back to, which I don't think there really was. I'm trying to think if there was any. Or if I had to call somebody, which I had to a few times, I would just go into I would have to go into my parents' room and take the call, right? Or do the call, right? Because that was the only place for reception. And also the bathroom, right? Which had 2 bars instead of 1 or none. Ooh, right? So the best part is that all of the people screaming on Twitter about how amazing or how bad the game was, I saw none of it. And I'm going to be real with you. It was nice. It is so nice. And I genuinely recommend, and I know people are going to say, oh yeah, I already know that's a good thing to do, but I'm not going to do it because, you know, whatever. Please do it. Take social media breaks. Even for a week, take social media breaks where you don't go on social media. You don't announce, oh guys, I'm taking a break, I'll see you guys. No, don't announce any of that. Just take a break. Just take a break. That's it. Just don't say anything. Take a break. Walk away from social media. Don't be on Twitter, Blue Sky, X, wherever. Just take a break. And do it when a game is coming out. Not for the sake of, oh, I don't want to be spoiled. You just enjoy the game more.
Ooh, I've never tried a volcano lair. Do good guys have volcano lairs?
I genuinely had a good time with Legends ZA. I blocked out all the noise, not purposely, just because I couldn't, right? I didn't look at the noise, and I just sat there and I looked at it for what it was. I didn't look at what some people said. I didn't look at what other people thought. I didn't look at the Metacritic score. I didn't look at any of that. I just played the game. Just played the game. That's it. And you know what? My honest thoughts about Legends ZA is that is it as revolutionary as revolutionary as a sneeze? Is it as revolutionary as Legends Arceus? Absolutely not. No, it's not. If you're going in there expecting a Legends Arceus experience, you're going to be horrendously disappointed. You're going to be very much disappointed. If you're expecting a Legends Arceus experience, you're not going to get it. This isn't it. But if you are wanting to see but you can see the seeds of what Pokemon is going to turn into, and I like what I see. Legends is always the experimental game. They experiment in Legends, and then they apply it in the mainstay games, right? So there was a lot of things in Legends Arceus that was in Sword and Shield, right? Scarlet and Violet. There was a lot of things in Scarlet and Violet that originated, or the idea stemmed from a feature in Legends Arceus. Sorry. So I consider Legends Arceus a half a step forward. And to some, that's not good. I enjoy it. I am hoping that the post game introduces much more content. But what their focus on for this was the Pokemon battles. That was their focus. Their focus was, let's revolutionize how we're doing, how we're going to do the battles for the future of this franchise. And if you look at it at that lens, it's a great game. Because Pokemon battles are fun. Hey, no problem. I'm happy that you got the relics. Thank you so much, Red. I'm happy to hear that. And sadly, still a update. We still have... Oh, come on, this one. Is that still, unfortunately, the Etsy store is still temporarily closed. Still haven't gotten the tariffs issue sorted, which I hope we'll be able to get sorted soon. It sucks because I'm missing another holiday season, which I didn't want to miss, but here I am missing it again because of things outside of my control. However, I am hoping that things can get closer back to within control, and I'll be able to ship things out relatively sooner rather than later. But at the moment, now I will admit I haven't checked since I've gotten back what the status of all that stuff is, and seeing if there is a way that I can perhaps make an exception or figure out an alternate route. But oh shoot. But just so I can kind of wrap up my thoughts about Pokemon Legends EA. It is a sneak peek to what Pokemon is going to become, and I'm excited. There is no sense of daunting fear. Their focus was the battle system. That was their focus. Their focus was, does this battle system work? And also the introduction of raids. The only thing that I'm upset about, and I hope that they introduce in multiplayer, I would love multiplayer raid modes. I love the raids. The raids were so much fun. I really enjoyed doing the raids. They were genuinely, my opinion, depending on what you're getting, of course. Yeah, there is, unfortunately, the pricing is also due to because of like the amount of fees that I get nailed with. It's like, oh, this fee, that fee, this fee, that fee. And I would like to try and get those reduced. So I'm hoping that we can have a grand reopening of like version 2 of the store. Because also too, they are now releasing machines that will allow me to be able to make prints that will take less time and cost me a lot less money. And when those machines come out and my store and I can start shipping, things are going to drop in price significantly as well. Because when you have the multicolored prints, right, the amount of time and the amount of filament that it wastes, unfortunately, when you get the final product, you have to pay for the waste as well, because I can't reuse that waste, right? I can't reuse it. But and then also the amount of time, because when you switch filament, it takes a lot of time to switch filament. But with these new machines that are starting to come out now, if I'm able to snag one or two of them, what I can do is that they will remove the filament issue, and then that reduces the timing issue, and that means a lower cost for the final product for the user, which I'm very excited about that, because if I can reduce the cost, then I reduce the amount that I place on the final customer, because, well, it's, cost and effect, right? So if it's cheaper for me, it means it becomes cheaper for you guys, which I want to do. Yeah, the tariffs are affecting... I'm not going to comment on how they're affecting Americans, because I'm not American. The tariffs are... I'm just saying that I'm not saying this to try to open up any political debate, which I'm not. I'm not getting into it. But they've affected us Canadians very badly. My dad operates a small business as well, and it's caused him to have to increase all of his prices and stop outright service on certain things. My dad's a boat mechanic, so yeah, he gets parts shipped in from different places, and the tariffs have really affected. Did I just mess it up? I think I did. There we go. There's only one up there, right? But anyway, we'll get back to it. We'll get back. We'll get this Etsy store back and running sooner rather than later, hopefully, and we'll be back in business. And when we do, we'll have a big old sale. I mean, I've had to let some commissions go. There was a commission that I wanted to do so badly, and I had to let it go. And I felt so bad because it was such a cute idea, and someone wanted to commission me to make wedding toppers for their wedding. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I had the model set up. I had everything all ready to go. And then I had to shut the store down, and I felt terrible. I was like, no. I was like, I wanted to be a part of someone's special day. That would have been awesome. Let's go this way. I remember the very early beta for this game, for this level, and how they made it easier, which I think is hilarious. Go. Get that, grab over here, nab that, thank you very much. Oh, come on. Giving the doggo a good old belly rub. Thank you for stopping by, Red. We appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, gosh! Dang it. There we go. Three, four. Get that. There we go. By the way, how is the volume? Probably a great time to ask, or not a great time to ask, you know, so late into the stream, but I might as well ask it now. How is the audio? Hi, Mr. Dinosaur. One second. Sorry, I just gotta reset my hunt here. The volume's good. Okay. One of the things about Legends ZA2 is kind of funny is that you can shiny farm, or you can shiny hunt by like just auto things, so it's kind of funny, but it's also nice so that I'm not, you know, you're not wasting so many hours on hunting a specific Pokemon. You can keep just refreshing, retrying, refreshing, retrying. I'd be if I took my headphones off.
Goodness.
Goodness.
Isn't Lonnie Loli? How are you, brother?
Sorry to interrupt, but existence could end at any minute, so can we hurry?
When's existence ever done anything for anyone anyway?
Oh, don't mind Grumpy Gus. He's always a downer.
Yeah, don't mind me. I don't matter. Nothing matters.
Now that we found Ika Ika, that's all four. What's next?
We can't close the rifts until we stop whatever's opening them.
That would be Entropy and his precious
Rift Generator.
Sounds like it's time to kick some entropy butt.
Excuse me.
May I assist?
Boogaba. All right. I need to tell you something about it. My doctor made me start taking vitamin D as I am deficient, but it also boosts your immune system. Ben and Mason just got sick, and I didn't get sick at all. That's awesome. Vitamin D. Thought about you always being sick. Might try it. So yeah, okay, vitamin D. So I remember I was told I had a B12 deficiency, but can always take more. Can always have more, you know, vitamins, so I can get less sick. That would be, you know, nice.
Dingo dial?
Easy, chums. If I was here to fight, you'd be Cactus.
He's with me. Found him lost out there. Caught him up on the whole time-space, you know, thing.
Yeah, just trying to get home. I was enjoying the retired life, see?
Got it. Our bad guys had a change of heart, too.
Bad guy?
Silence, whelp. But
But sir.
my patience, Oxide. But
No, I'm sure this insect knows how to obey an order.
Entropy.
Take your ship to planet Bermugula and be on the lookout for ships approaching the rift generator.
Uh-oh.
We can't afford any unwanted visitors.
At once, your foulness.
You manage our affairs with such poise.
Naturally. As do you. Ah.
Barf. Oh, that's great. Still one of the best laugh out loud moments I had when I was reviewing it. I was just so blown away by like it's like, oh, we went there. Oh, we went there. Okay, that's awesome. I was like, Toys for Bob, I wasn't familiar with your game. Go. There we go. And up we go. What I find hilarious is the fact they're like, my doctor was like, yeah, so you're B12 deficient. How much red meat are you consuming? Are you having any like steak or anything? I was like, I can't afford that. What do you mean steak? What do you think this is? The Shangri-La? Have you seen the prices of steak lately, lady? Lady! like what, you think I just have, I can afford. Did I leave the gym? I did leave the gym behind, didn't I? Hang on. It's right here. There it is. That's right. I thought it was the second one, not the first one. Everything's expensive. That. Hit that. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. But yeah, no, I was like, "Are you serious?" And she's like, "Do you eat steak?" I can't. It's not a matter if I do. I can't. Why can't I eat steak? Because it's expensive. It's not just a little bit expensive. It's disgusting. We walked in and they were selling like 4 grilling steaks and they were asking for $43 for 3 grilling steaks. $43. And they weren't that big. They were like
Fired up, Bob.
that. Dagger! It's been a $2 member for 76 months. My dude, welcome back. Got enough R&R? Yes. Yes. Here, let me tell you something funny. The second day I was there, I sat there and I was outside and it was so quiet. But I was like, I'm like, what's that sound? My wife looks at me. She's like, what sound? I said, do you hear that? She's like, hear what? I said, that high pitch ringing. And my wife's like, there's no high pitch ringing. I sat there. I'm like, what do I hear? And then she looks at me. She goes, that's your blood pressure. I was like, oh. Oh. That explains it. That explains a lot. She's like, you're hearing your blood pressure. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that checks out. That is no bueno. Yeah. Yeah, so it took me all the way till I was up north to realize, what's the high pitch ringing? That's your blood pressure. Ah, that's what that is. Great. Fantastic. The ringing left though. A week later. A week into the vacation, the ringing left. So that's good, right? Under pressure. See, this is where I thought the gem was. Boy, howdy, do I ever feel like I'm under pressure all the time. But no, I got a lot of rest and relaxation. We didn't go hunting though. And a lot of people be like, but wait, CG, you were talking about hunting before growing up. I did. And we didn't go. You might wonder, well, how come? Why didn't I go? Well, it's because the first few days we were there, we were settling in. And then Pokemon Legends ZA came out. And then a day or two after Legends ZA came out, I was like, okay, I'm ready for some hunting. It started to frog. Now, you might sit there and be like, frog? What is CG talking about? What do you mean frog? What's frog? It's something that both my father and I came up with. It's called fog and rain that's obnoxiously gross. It was so just outside was just damp. And not just like a casual, ooh, it's raining out. No, it was like, ah, this is right to my bones. Oh no, my bones. It was right to the bones. It was sleeting, foggy, rainy. It was not the kind of weather that you want to be out in. It was in the mornings, it was -5. And by the afternoon, if you were lucky, it was about 8. Would you consider $4.30 for a 1.5 liter Pepsi expensive? No, that's cheap. That's pretty good. Yeah, no. So my dad and I, we call it frogging. It's frogging out. Fog and rain, that's obnoxiously gross. And it, at one point, it also, and get ready for this for people that, baloney malarkey. For the people that don't want to hear it, it S-worded up there. The four-letter S-word. Snow. It snowed while we were up there. It snowed. And it was a cold. It was, shoot. It was cold. And it was, but, so we played a lot of euchre. I played a lot of Pokemon, and there was just a lot of quiet. Just sheer silence. I have pictures I post on social media. My dad and I got stuck in the middle of the lake, which I was like, ah, great, awesome. So my dad's like, hey, help me get the boat in the water. I'm like, sure, Dad, no problem. So we get the boat in the water. He's like, all right, we got to get the engine on it. I'm like, cool, no problem. And then I carry the engine down to the boat. We install it, lock it in, and my dad says, oh, by the way, I forgot to inform you, I haven't serviced this engine in 6 years. And I was like, pardon? You haven't what now? He's like, yeah, I haven't serviced this engine in 6 years. It fired right up 6 years ago. And I'm looking at him, I was like, Dad! Father, help! So, we got down there. We put the engine on. You'll never guess what happened. It did not want to work for beans. You pulled on that ignition, you pulled on that string, and it sounded like an angry horse. It did not want to go. It was no bueno. It was nope, not going. So finally, after reefing on it for about 20 minutes, it started. I was like, oh, good, excellent. And Dad's like, yeah, let's go test it. I was like, that's great. Let's not go too far, though. And he's just like, oh, I'll be fine. I was like, sure? He's like, yeah, it started. My dad, the boat mechanic. So guess what happens? We get out in the middle of the lake. And the engine's going, where is? Vroom, vroom, vroom. I'm staring at Dad, and I'm like, oh, Dad, oh, Father. He's like, yeah. I said, what was it that I was saying earlier? He's like, I didn't hear it. I'm like, yes, you did. We're in the middle of the lake. And there he is, cranking at it. I'm sitting there, looking around. I'm like, this is a very nice lake. This is a very nice spot to be in. And I'm sitting there, and I posted a photo of it on Twitter because I actually got 2 bars out in the middle of the lake. I was like, boy, howdy, gee, I got 2 bars. I can post something out here. So I decided to post a picture of my point of view on the boat. So hold on, let me quickly pull it up. Excuse me. So here I am. This middle of it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. And we're stuck in the middle of the lake. Then I made a joke to Dad. I said, hey, I'm going to bust out Pokemon Go. Let's see if we can catch anything. Let's see if we can catch anything. So, yeah. But if you have a keen eye, you would have noticed. How did we get back? How did we get back? Well, we had paddles. So here I am, paddling all the way back. While Dad is trying... while Dad was trying to get the engine going, and here I am. And here's the thing, he didn't even tell me to paddle. Right, he didn't even tell me to paddle. I just started paddling on my own. I was like, So I start paddling on my own and just, you know, beginning to get back to shore, right? And my dad's laughing because, my dad and I, we have, unspoken communication where, I don't know, it's just a father-son relationship where now that we're both adults, we kind of both know what we're thinking. We are in some ways the same person. And I'm casually paddling, and he's trying to get the boat to start, and he'll start for 5 seconds, give us a quick boost, and then stop. And then sometimes he's got pointing the wrong direction, and it sends me the 20 paddles in the wrong direction. I just look at him, and he starts laughing. He's like, "What? I'm helping." And I'm like, "Stop helping." Dang it, did it again. So yeah. And so here I am paddling. My wife is laughing at me. She came out with the dog to laugh at me as I'm paddling, but it gets better. It gets better, okay? My dad's like, "We have a secondary engine. It's smaller, but it'll do the job." I said, "Perfect." He's like, "I haven't serviced that in 8 years." I was like, "Father, Father, please." Funny thing is, that one got started after about 20 minutes, a half an hour fiddling with that. That one got started and was enough to putt us around. So good, great. So so the next day, my wife, my 2 kids, and my dad, they want to go fishing. So they go fishing. And they go out in the middle of the lake. They do some nice fishing. They catch some nice pike. Everything's great. So they start getting the motor started. And David goes, he sighs sadly. And my wife goes, "What's up, David?" And he goes, "I want to paddle back." She's like, "You what now?" He's like, "I want to paddle back. It seemed like a lot of fun." And she's like, "No, it's not fun." He's like, "I want to paddle," and he's getting sad about it. So my wife's like, "Okay, fine. will paddle back. So my wife and my son are paddling, and of course my wife.
How that happened.
Yeah, but of course,
No,
you told me that's what you.
No, that's not what happened.
You said that David was sad because he wanted to paddle back.
No. Listen. They said we just finished fishing, and Papa's gonna start the motor, and they're like, "Oh, Papa, can we paddle a little bit?" And Papa's like, "Yeah, sure."
You told me that.
No.
But
guess what? So they're paddling, and they're literally going into a circle, and we're like, "Haha, this is fun." All right, now guys, we paddled for about 5 minutes. Time to start the motor, and David starts to cry, and Papa's like, "What do you want?" He goes, "I want to paddle more." He's like, "Okay." He goes, "Yeah, I want to paddle more." So he goes, "Okay." So Hope gives up. I take it, and really just me paddling and him helping, and then he's telling me how I'm doing it wrong, and I keep going zigzagging when you're the one powering. It kind of is zigzagging.
So,
but and Bob was like, "Okay, whenever you want, give it back." We got to the point where we were so close. He was like, "Well, I'm done, Papa." He's like, "Well, might as well finish."
Yeah.
And then they did it again the second time.
So hold on, I didn't get to that part of the story. So they wanted to paddle back for fun, and she's the one doing most of the paddling. And so I got my revenge when you came out to laugh at me with Denver when I was paddling.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't laugh.
You weren't laughing, you were snickering.
I made a pirate joke. What else would you do?
Yeah, and you were laughing. Anyway, so she had I was stranded. So she had to paddle back with a kid who doesn't know how to paddle, and
worst case scenario, you have to swim back to shore. No, it's not as bad as you. It's cold.
It is, but it is very cold.
It's not like, oh, we went to a nice cottage area with water. No. It's cold.
You don't. Oh man.
The second day, Hope was crying. I wanted fish, but my fingers hurt.
I wanted fish, but my fingers are hurting.
She couldn't like her gloves.
Okay.
Like I
so, you're having a laugh. So anyway, here we are. So here I am, and I'm watching them. I'm like, oh, the engine must be out. I'm like, oh no, the engine must have not working. So
called. Is everything all right?
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, everything all right? Did the engine die? And she yells back, no, they wanted to do this for fun.
At one point, I had the boat is shaped at the front.
Yeah, that's how boats are typically shaped.
Yeah, sometimes they're not as pointy. So, like, they're not as pointed at the front. So I could literally put my elbows on the side and do that. I put my elbows on the side, I leaned back, and had my feet up on one of the benches. I said, paddle, children. And they laughed and they cried.
Yes, you have. Yeah, they're going around in a circle, and I'm just laughing.
No, and here's the thing though, I didn't know you paddled. I didn't know. I thought, hey, it's mostly arms, right? Like, but that strength is actually not coming from your arms all that much. It's mostly your legs. And I got up and my legs are just shelving. I'm slipping on the boat.
So here's the thing: they go back out again, like a few days later. They go out fishing again. Once again, I look out the front window, and lo and behold, guess who's paddling away? Oh, come on! Who's paddling away? My wife and the kids attempting to paddle, and she's yelling. She's just like,
We're doing it for fun.
But my favorite part is David telling me how I'm doing it wrong.
yeah, he's telling you you're doing it wrong, even though he's.
Reality. Mama, you're not facing the cottage the whole time. I'm on both sides. It's gonna go like this.
It was an experience. That's what matters. They had fun. Yep.
Every time someone go, oh, I think I got a fish. You run to the very end of the boat to get away from it. Buddy, we're fishing though.
Yeah, you see, it's not like, the thing is you're not catching nice fish. It's not like you're catching, oh wow, look at this cool looking colorful fish. Oh, look at this friendly fish. No, you're catching pike, okay? They look like a small barracuda. They're brown and green and ugly, right? They're disgusting looking. Yeah. So it's not like you're catching a nice little cute fish. You're catching the ugliest fish on planet Earth.
Yeah, I would have thought Helen would have got it. Yeah, I thought too. But apparently, the strength comes from your legs. I got onto the deck and I just flopped over with jelly.
Yeah, she just threw herself. I was like, how's my maiden on the lake? And she just threw herself on the on the dock. She's just like, bleh. Look, he's sleeping on my foot. Is he?
Jonathan says he wants to be
Okay, then let me be the firefighter. There you go.
A firefighter. No, you can't be a firefighter. How will I be a firefighter? You have to go to bed. But I won't be a firefighter. You can be a firefighter in the morning. Firefighters have to get sleep, okay? He goes, okay.
Fire.
Except promise you can go to bed.
Doggo's.
It looks like we're en route to the
Doggo
rift
sleep?
generator.
Yeah, Doggo sleep.
But
He's
he'd be
sleeping
a
on
lot
my feet.
faster and
He is very warm. He is great. He's a fantastic foot warmer.
Tana? I'm not losing you guys in
Huh?
this dimension too. I'll handle this.
Yes. Oh, he hopped in today.
we're a team.
I was there. I scooped him up and I put him back down.
Good.
What'd I miss?
He's not allowed to be up in the bed.
I know he isn't.
It's my one thing.
I understand. He
I got
hopped.
a boxer that splashed around the mud and crawled into my bed. My bed.
Listen, okay, I get you're scarred. I'm scarred for life.
I also don't want to smell your dog.
I understand, okay? Oh. Sorry, random thing, because I haven't told chat this, but I haven't told you this. Last night, I came to bed, and Denver was, of course, shadowing me as he does, right? And typically, even when I go to the bathroom, he gets up and he follows me, right? Or if I get up to go grab something, he gets up and follows me, even if it's real quick. So last night, I came to bed, and he lied in his bed, right? Mm-hmm. And he looked at me. And I take off my shirt, and I throw it on him. And a few minutes later, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I get up out of bed. I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'm expecting him to follow me. He doesn't. He's wrapped his head in the shirt, nuzzled in, and he's sleeping with the shirt that I just traveled in on him, like a little blanket.
Oh, he misses you. He's also punishing you for getting mad at him. It's not like he took off down the street.
Yes, no, he got his first bad boy yesterday. First time I ever said bad boy to him. He didn't like
yesterday?
that. Well, yeah. Today's Thursday.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I've lived 2 lifetimes.
Yeah, that was yesterday, yes.
Shouldn't have done.
Yeah, he was
Very nervous and upset. He does not like himself.
What? What one thing?
Here.
This? But yeah, I know that's the forward way in the level. You never played this level. Well, then it opens up. Oh shoot. The 3rd book of your series. So
200 pages.
So, so I might wrap up the stream at 10 o'clock, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I am feeling very soggy. That's the best way to describe it. I am feeling soggy. As I'm playing, I'm like, okay, I can feel the exhaustion from travel starting to affect me brain. You feel it today?
Oh yeah, I did too much.
I did suggest. I was like, hey, why? No, that's fine. But you know, there were certain things I was like, hey. Oh no, and it was, and it's cold.
And I'm wearing this wool. It's very warm. In the fall zone and all night. But wool does not feel good when it's wet.
It just.
And I have seen
about wet clothes.
Wet wool gets irritating.
I don't think anyone likes the feeling of wet wool. Yeah, it's hey! Jay King just donated $5 through Super Chat. Thank you so much, Jay King. Thank you. That's the third donation of the stream. Hey, CG, with Crash getting his own series now, who do you think should be core characters in the series and side characters who show up occasionally? So you gotta have Crash. I think you need Coco. You have to have Coco. You need Crash, Coco, Cortex. Those are the three, and Aku Aku. Those are your core characters. Oh no, I think you know, a Spyro cameo would be hysterical. And then so you have Crash, Cortex, Coco, and Aku Aku. Those are your four that you need to have in nearly every single episode, right? Then you could also have an additional doctor as well, either Brio or Engine, that would be treated more as a side character, but is treat more like a side character, but is there almost every episode, or there every episode, just not predominantly.
You also thirsty?
Yeah, big thirst. But also, I think I love you too. You gotta have Dingo. You gotta have the Dingo dial. You have to. You can't not have Dingo dial. You gotta have the Dingo. You gotta have the Dingo. You gotta have Dingo. You gotta have Entropy. I feel like Tiny is a popular character, but I don't know where you would put him. Maybe for like comedic bits. Maybe just for like funny moments, you would have Tiny. I don't know if they'll do Papu Papu. I think Tiny and Ripperoo kind of go in the same category. Where they're kind of like the comedic bit characters. I think, you know, Tiny would work really well as like a bit that Cortex does. Like, this is all like almost like a Family Guy cutaway. We're like, this is awful. It's almost as bad as when I let Tiny out, as when I let Tiny into something. Like, I don't know. It's like the time when I put Tiny in the herd of sheep and it cuts to Tiny and goes, me like sheep! And the sheep are running and he's just trying to, lamb chops! Right? You know, these, you know, for bits like that where he's like, lamb chops! Yummy! You know, I think that would be... I think that would be a good use of Tiny. It would be a really funny episode of like Cortex and Engine's misadventures would be Cortex feeling like he's like the exhausted like mom dad, where he has to take care of everybody, and it's like all of his creations are like toddlers destroying the house, in the sense that he needs a break. He's like, I'm so tired all the time. Shoot, forgot. I forgot about this one. You want to go see Mama? Is that what you want? You want to go see Mama? He can hear Mama over there, so we're gonna quickly just I'll say it. He wants to see you. My wife's gonna kill me. Cortex's dad mom is such a vibe. I'd be all for it. I mean, he already is kind of like that. Like at the beginning of Crash 4, he's like engine, embryo, and he's just all like tired and exhausted. You see him just trying to do his morning routine, and it's just literally half the time is just repairing the destruction that his creations have made, and he's just so tired. Ah, shoot. Or it's like, finally get to relax. Here comes Tiny! No! No! Ah, jeez. So we'll wrap up the stream in about 15 minutes, and then we will do some Q&R. Q&R. Embryo and Engine are like the older brothers, and their other animal creatures are just insane toddlers running rampant, basically. And then he's just like, oh. No! Why can't you all be like Dingo Dial? He started his own restaurant and everything. But he teamed up. Yeah, but he teamed up with those bloody bandicoots. You know what else he did? Left me alone, unlike you. Bits like that, I think, would be really funny. Why do I see dingoes becoming a common hangout place in the series? Like everyone goes to eat there, but no one eats there. Yeah, it's like every time he has like sage-like advice, but he serves like the most disgusting food and no one eats it. And he always makes a comment afterwards. No one touched the gumbo again. And every time they come in, he's like, oh, I got this new recipe. It's the most disgusting, inhuman, unedible thing ever. And it always, in the conversations always end with him, but like, but you didn't try. But guys, you guys did not try. Like guacamole sandwiches with a side of roadkill pie. They spent all day making it. It's like... Or someone's having a bad day, and he gives some sage advice, like, thanks, Dingo. And it's like, oh, yeah, I know. Here, let me cut you a free slice of... let me cut you a fresh slice of wild-born bat pie. And he turns around to cut it, and they turn back around, and you just see the door flapping, like, of them, like, running out the door. They're like, oh... Let me cut you a fresh slice of roadkill rotten pie. Here you go. Turns around and it's... What's this picture with Ox? What is this picture of Oxide to the right here? Is that Oxide or Oxide's wife? What is that? Oh no, Star 50. He would proudly state what is in the frosting and is the most disgusting, inhuman, unedible thing you've ever heard of. And it's always like why? Why? Why would you make this? He'd be proud. He'd be like, oh, you gotta try this new pie I made. Rat nail pie. Rat nails? Oh, yeah, it took me all day to pick them out. Everyone's like, it takes a long time to make it, but it is delicious. Like, Dingo Dal, I didn't even know rat nails were edible. The other crocs eat them. That's not how... Never mind. All right, ladies and gents, I think this would be a good time to switch over to Q&R. So give me a quick second here to switch it over and... Full screen! Plot twist, there's like one normal-ish thing on the menu they eat sometimes, but like one, maybe 2 bites because they're talking. Yeah, like, what would be normal-ish? You gotta have something, it gotta be Wampa-related. Maybe it's like a specific drink that he puts something else in there that's really like not great, but it's tolerable, and they ask for light. So it's like, I'll take the Wumpa drink. Light on the moss, Dingo Dial. Light on the rotting moss. He's like, oh, that's what adds flavor. Bat milk Wumpa smoothie. Guano. collect the whole set. All right. Cream of Wumpa soup. That'd be pretty good. All right. It's 9:51. We're going to be here for about 10 minutes. If you guys got any questions, please fire them away and I'll try my best to answer them. Next week is going to be a big week for making videos. We're going to be talking about the animated series. We're going to be talking about just a whole bunch of stuff. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be working on. We're going to be working on numerous Crash Bandicoot videos. We're going to be working on I read about this a month ago, and now I'm seeing it start to reported more now, and it's definitely interesting. So apparently, Netflix is thinking about purchasing, this is interesting, to acquire a large portion of Warner Brothers. Now there is a caveat to this. There is a caveat to this. They're looking to acquiring their streaming business and their studios, not their broadcast cable channels. Is that a bottle of ketchup? Yes, it's a bottle of ketchup. I had French fries for dinner, and I needed some ketchup on it. And I forgot to put it back in the fridge. Thank you for reminding me. I have to go put it back after the stream. I forgot. Can't remember if you answered this, but what do you like better, CTR or the Sonic Racing game? I still think that I still prefer CTR, but that also is potentially due to my lost my train of thought, just off into the unknown. I still enjoy Crossworlds, but I still very much enjoy Crossworlds, but I love CTR. I adore CTR. So, yeah. What's the worst food you tried that you pretend to like it? Like which foods you tried before you like and then to realize you don't like it at all? Very specific question, but there is an answer, and I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to think. I don't have a good answer for you right now. I don't have an answer for you. Like, not a good enough answer for you on that one. Check back in with me. Got any neat pulls from the Mega Rising TZ Pocket? Yes, I did. I pulled the Rainbow Mega Absol. I pulled that, which was super cool. Oh, hold on, chat. We gotta stop for a second. Hang on. We gotta pause. This will be briefly, albeit very brief, Pokemon stream for a second. Just but a moment, because finally I just got. Hold on. This will be a Pokemon stream very briefly. Very briefly. Hang on. For all of like 10, maybe 30 seconds. We'll say 30 seconds. Hang on. This will be a Pokemon stream for 30 seconds. Hang on. You'll see why in a second, chat. On. Switch the cables. Switch the things, do the stuff. Okay, plug that in. Okay, hang on a second. So first thing we're going to quickly do is we're going to save progress. Ladies and gents, do you see that? That is a shiny Tipeg. Now, got it. Got it. Sweet. Hold on a second. And then we evolve it real quick. Pignite. And then, hold on. Don't mind me, just play Legends of your title. I literally just said Stanley. I was like, wait a second. The stream's going to be a Pokemon stream for like 2 minutes. Because I just got this. Hang on a second. Then we're gonna thank you so much for the support for 67 months. I appreciate it, man. Hang on a second. Alright. Now we're also gonna go like this. I go over to here. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Give to a Pokemon. Okay. Now let's see how he looks. Ready? Oh, come on! Tell me that doesn't look awesome. Mega Shiny Emboar. That is sweet. By the way, before we continue Q&R, if anyone wants a shiny lit Leo, I got you. I got shiny lit Leo, shiny lit Leo, or a Skiddo, or a Fletchling. I'll even give you an alpha. I have a whole pride of shiny lit Leos. Anyone wants them? That's I'm fine with giving them away, basically. Oh yeah, I also got this, my shiny Alpha Phalanx. I got my shiny Metagross. I got my shiny Goodra. by Gyarados. I got Noivern. I got 4 shiny Noivern. I got a shiny Bulbasaur named Bay. I got the shiny Starmie. I got 5 shiny Noivern. Sorry. Shiny Beedrill. I got shiny Beedrill. I got multiple shiny Weedles. I got a shiny Alpha Beedrill. I just caught this today. I got the shiny Alpha Arbok. I got a shiny Doublade. I got a few shiny Lucarios. Yeah, if anyone wants to let Leo, I got you. I got you covered. I got shiny Aggron too. That was cool. I got that. Anyway, sorry. Back to our regularly scheduled program. My apologies, everybody. But I saw the I saw the shiny pig, and I was just like, pig. I had to go for it. I needed to stop for my shiny pig. That wasn't even what I was hunting either. I'm hunting for a Charmander. But, not what I'm hunting. I'm hunting for a Charmander, but, I'll take a Tepig too, so. But, hurrah! Oink! Only took forever. So, alright. But any other questions, and then we'll wrap it up. What's your worst Halloween candy that you tried? So I'll tell you one, and I never tasted it, but I'll tell you one. There was these. We went trick-or-treating. I was a kid. We went trick-or-treating, and we went to this house, and we opened the door, and it was full of stoners. Now, at the time, I didn't really understand what weed was. I kind of knew about it, but, I was, small brain, kid brain. And you open the door, and these guys were hotboxing in their living room so hard, you couldn't smell anything but weed. And that's all you could smell. They're like, hey, little bro, like full typical, and they're coughing and wheezing because there's so much smoke. And I thought initially as an innocent kid, it was like fog effect, because it's Halloween time. No. It was a fog effect, just not the kind of one that you would like. At least not for me. So anyway, they handed me these candies, and I'd never seen these candies before. And it was hysterical because they were called Mary Janes. And I didn't realize what the nickname for, weed at the time was also Mary Jane. And there were these candies that I've only seen once, and I've never seen them again. I've never seen them ever again. I've only been given them once. And when my mom was sorting through the candy, she picked it up, and she, before she even looked at it, she said, oh my gosh. She's like, is that from the house that those guys were at? I said, I guess. I don't know. I had so much candy. And it said Mary Jane on it, and she just laughed, shook her head, and said, okay, we're not eating those. So, maybe not like the worst candy, but that was pretty, that was pretty funny. So Mary Jane for marijuana, Mary Jane, it's MJ, right? It's kind of like would it be an alliteration? It can be seen as that. Mary Juana, Mary Jane, right? That's why it would be called that. So So that's why it would be the nickname. So how's your first year of your 30s compared to your first year of your 20s? So that's hard to compare. That's a very good question, but it's very hard to compare because my first year in my 20s, I was still in college, but I had met my wife, right? So I had met my wife, and it was the start of our life together, really. So it's kind of hard to compare that to here because also there were things that were important to me at the time that aren't important to me now. And then there are things that I did at the time that I thought were big that I look back on now and think, oh yeah, I did that. And it was, I wouldn't say comparably small, but not as big as some of the things I've done. So it's kind of, yeah, that's all it is. Oh no, I'm sure that's what it is. But like, my mom was just like, she was cautious. She was being cautious, which I don't blame her, to be completely honest. So how it compares, it's completely different, and it should be completely different because your first year of your 20s, if your first year of your 20s is better than your first year of your 30s, I think you're doing something wrong. You're going the wrong way, right? Not that, everything has to be blissful in your 30s, but if everything was better in your 20s than it was in your 30s, and you're going in the wrong direction. That's kind of just like my philosophy, is that if it's like everything was better before, and it's like, then you're not working towards improving yourself, There should be a point where it should be that I want my 40s to be better than my 30s. I want my 50s to be better than my 40s. I want my 60s to be better than my 50s, right? That's what I want to try to work for in life. And I think everybody should try to work towards that, right? And you're going to have bad years. You're going to have years of your life where it's, oh my gosh, this year is terrible. But the only way that you're in a bad year is when you've had good years. So to learn and appreciate the good years so that you know what to look forward to in your bad, right? I mean, in terms of career, there have been some bad years on the channel. It could be arguable that 2020, I think the worst year for my channel was 2022. I think 2022 was the worst year for my channel. 2022 was rough, but there are also things that, were good this year and bad comparable to other years. So it's, especially when it comes to your career, it depends, right? Would you say that certain things like having more of a social life were better pre-2020? There's a lot of things better pre-2020. I mean, I think comparable life to before 2020 and after 2020, I think most people would say, in terms of just like, I think most people would want to go back to how things were pre-2020 or post-2020. I think most people wouldn't have liked having a 2 to 3 year stall and then wave and effects that we're still feeling even now. Like, we're still feeling it now, whether it's the price of things, whether it's medical scarcity, whether it's panic, whether it's political opinions, whether it's whatever. I think doesn't matter which side you're on, everybody would like to go back to the world the way it was pre-2020. I think a lot of people lost their a lot of people lost their way. A lot of people lost just a lot of things because of 2020. And industries have completely changed because of it, for positive and negative. The thing is that, and this is something that I learned very quickly, is that you don't know when you're in the golden era. You don't know it. You only know after the fact, right? You don't know when you're in your golden era. You only know after the fact, right? You know, according to data and according to a whole bunch of things I was looking at back at the time, my channel was allegedly going to hit around 100K subs around 2021, 2022, right? Like there was a projection thing I was looking at, and it was like, yeah, you continue at this rate and continue at this, that, and the other, and you're going to hit this number by this point. And I was just like, awesome. It's 2025, almost 2026. I still haven't hit 100K yet. And I'm working towards it. I'm working. I am pushing. I am trying. I am pushing. I am trying. I am going all out, right? And I am trying my best. And we're close to 85,000. Yeah, 2016 definitely felt like a weird year where there was a weird paradigm shift. 2016 was weird. But there was a paradigm shift for me in a good way too, because that was when my wife and I got married, right? So I kind of feel that. I kind of feel that too, right? I feel that 2016 was a paradigm shift, but that's also because that's when my wife and I got married, so... There are several golden eras. Like, for example, so far, I think the best era of this channel was the reignited right into the CTR and the Grand Prix. I think that was so far one of the golden eras of the channel, right? And I hope that we get to more golden eras of the channel. I do. But I think that the greatest, like, consistent golden era was reignited to CTR. Right? Just that, when it came to content, when it came to videos, when it came to streams, it just felt like there was just an endless well of content to dip into, and it got to the point where I had video ideas on lists that I had to remove because it was too many ideas, right? And nowadays I don't feel like that anymore, and it kind of sucks because I want to be able to I'm coming up with video ideas that are too high budget. The crispy bacon, I like that. I like the crispy bacon. And now it's the ideas that I come up with they're good ideas, but they're too expensive. They're just way too expensive. And it's like, okay, this video idea is really good, but it's going to take me a long time to do. Or what if it flops, right? Like one of the videos that I released, I haven't even looked at my Google Analytics since I've gotten back. Okay, hold on. So I haven't even fully looked at my analytics since I've gotten back. 1 second. Let me find it here real quick. Yeah, like the my Crash Bandicoot versus Super Mario video, right? Like that was a little bit of a higher budgeted video, and it didn't do as well as I'd hoped so far, right? I thought it would do pretty good, and it's only sitting right now at 5.6 thousand views, right? And it's like, like that was a bigger budgeted video, and it didn't do so well. And you know, I'm always wondering more. I'm wondering, like, why? Like, why didn't it do so hot? Why? What happened, right? And so, you know, it's a matter of figuring out, like, okay, what happened, right? Like, you know, was it not that great of an idea in the first place or whatnot? But then again, the secret team behind Crash Bandicoot's development, that video did fantastic, and it's still generating views and subscribers and whatnot, and it's still, you know, the comments are very positive. So but yeah, what is that shirt? It's a Goku shirt, Dragon Ball Z. So as Triple R videos, I really enjoyed making those, but again, they became, what happens is that it's either I do the videos that people are subscribed and want, or Triple R videos. I don't have the time and resources to juggle those. I don't, because otherwise the Triple R videos, people will start getting mad because I'm not releasing enough Triple R videos, and then other people will start getting mad that I'm not staying on top of the speculation videos. So it's a problem where I'm only one person, right? I'm only one person, and I'm not making enough money to be able to hire other people full time to be able to do some of these videos full bore, right? And I love Triple R too. I enjoyed making Triple R, and I still want to eventually go back to Triple R. I do. And Triple R was a lot of fun to make. But again, it's one of those investments that take a while. I just got another shiny Dragaluge. The poison dragon thing. Hang on. All right. We're going to catch this, and then we'll check a few areas for shinies, and then we'll wrap up. So hold on a second. Hang on a second. Real quick. We'll wrap up the stream by bagging a shiny, maybe even 2 shinies. So hang on. You hear that? There it is, right there. Hold on a second. Real quick. See the green leaves? That's a shine. I always try to catch my shinies in luxury balls. I always try. I always think, you know, hey, if you're catching a shiny, it should be in the most expensive ball that looks as cool as anything, in my opinion. I love the look of the luxury ball. Okay, so real quick, we'll check a few spots that my shiny farming may have yielded some interesting stuff. We'll check down by the docks here. Any shiny Magikarp? Nope. Then we're going to check up here on the ladder. Yeah, I'm at a little bit of a crossroads, but there is a strategy that I'm going to start trying to apply, because there was something that I wasn't aware about in terms of how certain things work, and now I have an idea as to perhaps find a way to be able to create these really big videos again, and not lose, you know, and not, you know, lose an exorbitant amount of time and or money, and be able to work with that. So hang on a second. Okay, hang on a second. There's a specific spot I need to check. Excuse me, coming through. Technically 2 areas. So I'm gonna head over here. Oh, is that, there's a shiny there. Shiny Bellsprout. Thank you. That's 2 shinies. Area based on France? Yes, it is. That's X and Y. Abra? No. An Alpha Abra. Didn't even know there could be an Alpha Abra. Hang on a second here. I'm going to quickly go catch the Alpha Abra, because why not? Come on. Got it. Cool. Then we need to go and check. So we checked around here. I need to check on the other building. James would be proud. Hold on. So we gotta check the other side too. So we gotta go through this canal here. So that's 2 shiny Pokemon so far. There might be a shiny Venipede up here to the left. There's the Whirlipede. Yep, there it is. Shiny Venipede. Thank you very much. So that's 3 shinies. We'll come up here. Head up here real quick. These are shiny. Hide to then fast travel back to here. Drop a pin there, go to here. And then I just gotta check up here, and then we'll sign off. Once we check up here. Up here. Two Bellsprouts there. Being goofy goobers. Yeah, looks like that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, there we go. All right. In that case, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time I have for today. I appreciate it. You guys stopping by. I'm happy to be back. We'll be back, not tomorrow, but we'll be back next week, hopefully hitting the ground running with some new content, some new videos. Hopefully I'll be able to get, go try to get 1 or 2 videos out next week, at least 1, maybe 2. I think that'd be really cool. So, thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video and our live stream. Time for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.